afternoon. I'm Brian Wilfong. I'm the Communications Coordinator for C-TEC of Licking County, and this is our inaugural podcast, tentatively called Skills Chatter, #dad joke. I kind of like that. I think that's a great title.
I agree.
I didn't come up with it, but hey. But anyway, we are going to kind of test out this new method as a way of communicating with some of our parents. And I have with me today James Davis. Introduce himself.
Yes, I'm James Davis. I am the Career Development Coordinator, one of the Career Development Coordinators here at C-TEC. And I oversee the transition of students really from 8th grade through 10th grade, coming from their associate school here to C-TEC.
Brilliant. And as I said, I am the Communications Coordinator for the district. Before we start our interview today with James, which is really geared towards those who have been accepted at C-TEC and are coming here next year, we just want to give kind of a quick overview of C-TEC and what it is. C-TEC of Licking County is the Career and Technology Education Centers of Licking County, and we are the Career Tech school for all of our associate districts in Licking County. There are 11. We also serve parochial schools and homeschools and all that fun stuff as needed. And then, of course, we have on our post-secondary side our Ohio Technical Center, which is C-TEC's post-secondary center, what some folks refer to as adult education. Today's podcast is focused, as I said earlier, on students who have been accepted to C-TEC and are coming here next year for their junior and senior year of high school and their various programs. So James will just kind of dive into it and take it from there. First off, for the folks who maybe aren't used to all of our C-TEC vernacular, what do we mean when we say associate school?
Yeah, so associate school is what you think of as like your home school. So whether it be Johnstown, whether it be Newark, whether it be Heath, it's the school that you're coming to C-TEC from.
Brilliant. So when we use that, don't get confused. Sometimes we also interchange that with home school.
Absolutely. It doesn't mean you're homeschooled.
Yeah, exactly. Here at C-TEC, what does the staffing, the organization look like? You know, students have been going to Heath or Licking Valley or wherever their entire high school career, and now they're coming here. How is that different or the same?
Yeah, so there's a lot of similarities to your associate school. The one big similarity first at the top is we have what we call a director. Now that would take the place of like a typical principal of your building. Underneath our director, Michelle Snow, we have 2 assistant directors, Mike McNichol and Alyssa Johnston. Down from there, we have guidance counselors like you would at your associate school. We also have a special needs coordinator as well to help oversee the transitions of IEPs, 504s. And then we have your typical teachers. We have academic teachers, and we have lab instructors as well. So it looks very similar. We also have a dean of students that would oversee attendance and discipline as well. So a very similar structure to your typical school.
And we also have some extracurriculars that are specific to C-TEC.
We do, yeah. So we have what are called CTSOs, Career Technical Student Organizations, Skills USA, HOSA, Ed Rising. We have opportunities for you to get involved and do activities outside of the classroom and outside of your lab. In addition, we have student council. We have a civic simulation club as well. So a lot of different opportunities for you to be involved here at C-TEC.
Good deal. So not that different from what they're coming from.
Absolutely.
Really.
Yeah, very similar. Yep.
So I am an accepted student at C-TEC. I come here for my junior year. What does my day look like? How does it look the same? I guess let's start off by that.
Yeah. So at C-TEC, when you come in as a junior, you're going to have your typical core academic courses. So what's going to be the same is you're going to run on a typical bell schedule. You're going to have a math course. So whatever the next math course in line would be, whether that's going to be Algebra 2, whether it's going to be a pre-calculus, whatever that looks like, you'll have a math course. You'll also have a government course as a junior, and then you'll have an English course. So you'll have your 3 core academics. You might also have a science course as well, depending on what your chosen lab is. Typically, our health labs would have a science course as well. And then you'll spend about half your day in those academic courses, and you'll spend half your day in your lab as well. Which will be broken up typically by a lunch period. Generally, as a junior, you're going to be in the lab the first half of the day. So you would spend about 2 to 2.5 hours in the lab. And then you would typically have a lunch period, and then you would have your academics and potentially a study hall after that.
So what I have to graduate from high school, all of that will happen here at C-TEC?
Absolutely, yep. Yeah, so C-TEC is going to take the place of your associate school. So you're going to come here the full day. You're going to get everything you need here. It's C-TEC is what we say an extension of your associate school.
And a good point to mention is that even though you are here full-time, your junior and senior years, you graduate from your home school.
Absolutely, yeah. So you're going to get to walk in your high school graduation. You're going to get a diploma that says Northridge, or it's going to say Heath, or it's going to say Licking Valley, Lakewood. You're going to get to graduate along with your peers. You get to go participate in activities there as well. You will get a certificate of completion here if you fulfill all of your responsibilities, get all of your certifications here as well.
So here's the question, because this is why a lot of folks choose to come to C-TEC. How's it different?
So the big difference of C-TEC as opposed to your associate school is that you're going to get a skill that's going to prepare you for your future. So whether that be to go directly into the to your chosen career field, whether that be go on to college, you're going to leave C-TEC with a marketable skill that you can go out and you can use in your life. Now, the day is going to look similar, but like I said, you get to spend 2.5 hours in your lab getting hands-on skilled training. So that's going to be the biggest piece that's going to be different than your associate school.
I got to go back. Do we have College Credit Plus?
We do, yeah. We have a lot of College Credit Plus opportunities. We have English, 2 English CCP courses, stats, also a CCP course. We have a CCP psychology as well. And then we're going to have, I think, a couple other options this year as well.
Awesome.
Yep.
Here's a question we always get asked, and I'm sure we'll be answering this numerous times over the next few months. I play football. I play soccer.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in band at Heath, at Valley. Can I still do that?
Absolutely, yeah. And we encourage students to be in as many activities as they can at their home school to stay connected. This year, I know we have state qualifiers, state champions in track. We have cross-country runners. We have tons of football players. We have basketball players. We have band members. Any sort of activity that you would typically be involved in your associate school, we definitely encourage you to do that. We give you opportunity. If you are doing well in your academic courses, you actually get to leave a little bit early to get back for your homeschool activities as well. We also encourage you to be involved in pep rallies, anything like that.
Students are dismissed to go to those.
Yes, yeah. Students are dismissed. They're able to go back to their homeschool to participate in any of those activities. Yeah.
All right. And that's key. Some students don't want to come here because they think that, or parents are worried that they'll lose that home connection, and that's not the goal at all.
Yeah, not the goal, and we try to foster that as much as possible.
All right, so here's a question that also gets asked quite a bit. Are there financial aid options? Some of these labs have quite a few expenses associated with them.
Yeah, we try to keep the cost as low as possible. We don't have a tuition here at C-TEC. There is some lab fees, and you might need to buy some tools, and there are uniform costs as well. So we do provide assistance for those. The way that you're going to access that is if you go to our website and you click on the secondary center. That's what we refer to as our high school. So we have a secondary and a post-secondary center. And the secondary center is what you're going to click on. And then from there, you're going to click on school information. And there's a pay schools on there. There's a link for pay schools. And that's how you're going to do any of your school fees. You're going to do your lunch account. If you need to apply for any assistance, whether it be for lunches, uniforms, everything is done through that pay schools account.
Awesome. Yeah, and there's quite a bit of opportunity for students. We do not want students to not come to C-TEC because of a financial barrier. We'll work very hard to make sure that doesn't happen.
Yeah, absolutely.
And just a note about the website, because James did mention it. If you click the menu button in the top of the website, a menu will populate on your screen, and that's every page on the website, or at least how to get to it. So it's an easy way to navigate, just in general, if anyone ever forgets. So, how do I get to C-TEC? I don't drive.
It's a good question. I guess you're going to have to walk.
All right.
Just
it's exercise.
Yeah, right. No, so C-TEC, we do have options for you to get here. You know, the main option, especially for juniors, if you do not drive, you can drive. Obviously, if you have a car, we have a parking lot you can park in. But a lot of our students do ride on the bus. And busing is facilitated by each homeschool.
Okay.
So it's a little bit different depending on the school that you're coming from. Typically, what's going to happen is that school would pick you up in the morning just like you were going to the high school there. But once you get to the high school, or it could be the middle school, depending on the transportation department, you're going to switch buses, and all of the students from C-TEC are going to switch and get on one bus and then take that bus on to C-TEC. And then the same thing after school. We have buses that are going to pick you up from C-TEC. They'll take you to your associate school, whether that be the high school or the middle school. You're going to switch buses, and then you're going to get on a different bus that will take you back home.
So final line, everyone, transportation is provided.
It is provided for every student, yep. Now, as far as the specifics for each district, you're going to want to contact your own district's transportation department.
Yeah. Okay, excellent. So I'm a parent. My child's been accepted to C-TEC. What can I expect?
I think you should have really high expectations for us here at C-TEC. We have high expectations for ourselves to prepare your student for life beyond C-TEC, life after high school. So whether that be going into the military, whether that be going to college, to career, a 2 or 4 year college, you should expect that we are going to do our best to prepare you for that. We have expectations for you as a student, that we expect you to show up every day to work hard.
Attendance is a big deal here.
A very big deal, yeah. For a lot of our programs, attendance is one of the big factors of whether you can actually get your certificate of completion. And for any job, if you don't show up for your job, then you're not going to have a job for very long, right?
People don't pay people not to work.
Right. So you should expect top-notch instruction from our instructors as well. They're all well experienced in their field. And our academic instructors as well are going to be the same or better than what you would experience at your associate school. We have very well-prepared, experienced, and skilled staff here at C-TEC.
And I like that you mentioned, you said college, military, career, whatever. One of the kind of taglines we use here is career and college ready.
Absolutely.
Sometimes people think that maybe C-TEC students aren't going on to higher ed, and that's 40-some%, usually close to 50, do every year.
Yeah.
So the goal is that we prepare you for all of that, or start you down that path.
And to not to limit your options, we're not limiting you to just a career or just a college, but we're actually expanding those options. From a typical high school, when you graduate, typically the only skill or the only thing that you have is to then go on to college to get additional training. But here at C-TEC, we actually open up more doors because you still have that college, post-education option, but you do have that career option as well. So we look at it as expanding your options and not limiting your options here.
Exactly. Excellent. You kind of already addressed, what can an incoming junior expect from us. I think that we'll get that. Is there something that C-TEC besides, attendance and this is a school of choice. There are some students who didn't get in to C-TEC. So I'm coming in as a junior. What does C-TEC expect of me?
Yeah. So one thing to keep in mind is we have, more than 100 kids, a couple hundred kids that did want to come here to C-TEC, and we didn't have a spot for them. We just didn't have room. So if you are attending C-TEC, if you've got your acceptance letter, you came for signing day, then you should feel lucky. You should feel privileged to be here at C-TEC, that you were one of the ones chosen here. And look at that as a responsibility that you got a spot that someone else might have wanted. So we expect you to work hard to make sure you fulfill your obligations, that you're going to do your best. And if you think just coming to C-TEC and I got into C-TEC, so I'm going to be set, right? That's not how it works. You still have to work for your success. And you can't just expect it to be handed to you because, I got this training. No, you are going to have to go and pursue it, and you're going to have to work day in and day out to make sure that you're taking advantage of the opportunities that have been given to you.
Exactly. And that's going to be a skill for the rest of your life, because every career has change that happens over the course of the career in terms of what they use. We talked about, you mentioned signing day and some of those things. We would just also like to reiterate that if you are accepted at C-TEC, this is not it's not jail. If you change your mind, you can get out. How does that work? If someone says, you know what, I don't want to go.
Yeah. So we do have, over the summer, if you would change your mind, decide not to come to C-TEC, I would encourage you to call in and talk to us about it first. It is a big decision, obviously, to leave the school that you've been at your whole life. So there definitely can be some anxiety or fear. But I would encourage you, and just reminding you that all the students that are coming here, we're going to have over 500 students that are all in that same boat coming here to C-TEC as well. So they're all leaving. Potentially you might have some friends that you're coming with, but you have an opportunity to meet, potentially 500 other students.
Yeah.
Now within your lab, that's going to be, 25 to 30 or up to 50, depending on your lab. But everyone is going to have a little bit of that fear and anxiety. But it is a really awesome opportunity to meet potentially 25 to 30 to 50 people that have very similar interests to you and have the similar career goals. So just like anything, whether it be going off to college in 2 years, there is going to be, just a little bit of, uncertainty about that. But I would just look at it as an opportunity. And again, everybody else is going to be in that same boat. And it is a great opportunity to just mesh and gel and get some new friends here at C-TEC. But if you do decide to change your mind, within the first 2 weeks of school, we do allow a buffer period there. The first 2 weeks, if you decide you want to head back to your associate school, Not an issue. We will facilitate that. And then if you decide, at the end of the semester or at the end of your first year that, hey, maybe I chose the wrong career path. Maybe I wanted to be a firefighter. I thought I wanted to be a firefighter and actually want to go into a different field. We certainly wouldn't, want to lock you in here and make you feel like you're trapped here at C-TEC. So there is options to go back to your associate school.
And I guess the inverse of that is those who might have been waitlisted.
Yeah.
There is a possibility still.
Yeah, even
there is some.
Yeah, throughout the summer, even into the first 2 weeks of school, we're going to have students that maybe change their mind, decide to stay at their associate school, or maybe they moved out of district, something changed that they can't come here. Definitely just always keep that hope. And if you do have questions, call us and ask us, if it looks like there's going to be a spot. But we do have spots that open up all throughout the summer and then even into the first 2 weeks of the school year.
Good to know. Good to know. And you mentioned, juniors and how there are 500 other students who are in the same boat. We do our first day in the secondary center every year is a junior only day. There aren't seniors in the building. And so it really is kind of a neat experience from a staff perspective to see all of these new people in the building, and it's new to all of them.
Yeah.
And there is no one experienced. Everyone in the building is in the same boat.
Right. And then you look, at the semester or the end of the year and to see how close-knit the labs are.
Yeah.
You're living with those kids, for 2.5 hours every day, and then in your academic courses, some as well. But you really do form friendships and bonds that are unlike any other.
Sure. And, Northridge and Licking Heights probably don't interact often.
Right.
And now you have students who are friends, and it's kind of neat. Licking County is a bigger place than a lot of young people realize.
Right.
So anyway, it is a high school. So most high schools have a code of conduct, do we?
We do, yeah. Unfortunately, we do have a dress code, and we do have attendance policies and all that. You're going to find that also on our website. If you look in the school information, there is a student handbook there that outlines our code of conduct for everything from our attendance policy to, again, what you can wear, hairstyle, all that. Check that out there on our website.
And that is what governs student life here.
Yeah.
Like we refer back to that with discipline and with everything.
Absolutely, yeah.
All right. So you have been kind of a contact for parents and students as they have applied, been accepted to C-TEC. We're starting to transition them away from you.
Mm-hmm.
Who are the folks who will become their contacts as you kind of push them into the stream?
Yeah, so as I kind of head out of the picture and you head into the secondary center here, you're going to want to look to your guidance counselors. So at signing day, you would have received a paper, and it has, based off of your lab, we have 2 guidance counselors, Ryan Wheeler and Michelle McNeely. They're each assigned to different labs. So if you have specific questions about your scheduling, things like that, you're going to want to contact Mrs. Wheeler or Mrs. McNeely. And then also our assistant directors and director as well. So our director, Michelle Snow, our assistant directors, Alyssa Johnston and Mike McNichol. If you have specific IEP questions, 504 questions, you're going to contact our student services coordinator as well. So look at that sheet that we passed out to you for signing day to answer those questions.
Yeah, and there's contact information in there.
Yeah.
And then, of course, on the website, there's a huge icon on the landing page that says staff. You click it, and everyone's name and title is listed there. You click it and send a message to them very easily.
Yep.
And most administrators work year-round.
Yes.
So they would be available in the summer. Is there any other thing that you think an incoming student or a parent of an incoming student needs to hear kind of before we move on?
Yeah, I would say really just take hold of the opportunity that you've been given. As I alluded to earlier, this is a privilege and it's an opportunity that not every kid has. You also have taken, a leap of faith. So we do just commend the sort of the stepping out of maybe your comfort zone, your shell, and coming here to C-TEC, but also looking forward to the future opportunities that you have and to not waste this 2 years. This can be a 2 years that will set up a lifetime of success or failure, potentially, whether you take advantage of this time or not. So really look at each day as an opportunity to grow and to set yourself up for future success.
Excellent. I like that.
Yeah.
And, it's so neat. We've been here long enough now that we know students who have come through programs and, they're in their 20s now. Some are maybe pushing 30. And they might have been in electrical trades or welding, and they don't necessarily use that as their career now, but that skill is still with them.
Yeah.
And they use it all the time. So it's a great, well-rounded kind of life experience, regardless of whether or not it becomes a career experience.
Right.
So it's awesome. And with workforce development, which is all the rage right now, Licking County for various reasons, It's always been, but right now it's a buzzword that everyone's talking about. It's exciting because C-TEC is kind of on the forefront of that, and hopefully with you coming here, you will be too.
Yeah.
Thank you to the parents and students. That's who this first skills chatter was geared toward. We hope that we answered some questions for you. There will be some additional summer contacts that will be relayed from you. Who's going to be sending those?
Yeah, we can send those out via email. We'll send out some videos to keep you updated throughout the summer.
We're talking to incoming students.
Yes, incoming
Just
students.
how it looks between now and next August when you show up on campus.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, James, thank you very much. Thanks for all your hard work in getting this class. I think it's a record-breaking class.
I think so. Yeah, it is.
In terms of size.
Continuing to grow still. Yeah.
Last year was record-breaking. Now this one is. So they're old news last year.
Right.
This is pretty awesome. We're excited for next year. So thank you for all your work.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. We'll talk to you soon.